What up, YouTube? Coming back at y'all with another video.
I am back. What it do, baby?
See this Camaro right here behind me? This beautiful thing is actually getting the engine pulled out of it, unfortunately. Customer was out testing for the no-fly zone event in Arizona this past week and dropped a valve on the freeway on him. So we're gonna get the motor out, pull it apart, see if the block's salvageable. If it is, we'll get over to the machine shop, get the customer a quote, and get this thing back together. We're gonna dive into this thing. Let's go ahead and get this motor removed.
No, God!
Just a quick glance at this thing.
No, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at this?
Nice clean setup. It's a 1LE. K-Tech throttle body, Air Force intake. It's got long tube headers, flex fuel sensor. Definitely a very clean build. Looking at the damage over here on this passenger side, I know that valve definitely kissed that piston.
Give me a kiss.
Just hope that it didn't do a lot of damage to the block. It is missing a lot of coolant, so in my opinion, I feel like it did crack a sleeve, but we'll be able to figure that out soon. Let's go ahead and dive into this. 6-speed. You see, we take care of the cars as always. All right, so that's a lot better. So let's go ahead now and get this front end wrapped up.
Trying to confuse me, you know Spellman's in Atlanta too. Second of all, you know I'm vacillating here trying to...
Got the front end wrapped up. Gonna go ahead and get the battery disconnected. I just rolled both of the windows up. That way when we pull the motor out and we push the car around, I don't gotta worry about getting back into the trunk. All right, we're gonna get the cold air intake removed, and then we'll get the intake manifold removed. We just gotta take some of these connectors, and then all those 8mm you see across, there should be 5 on each side, and then map sensor on the side here. So go ahead and get that removed. I got the cold air intake off, but watch this. Oh, damn.
It's not supposed to be there.
Got coolant in the intake. That is never any good. Oh man, thought I recorded it, but I didn't. But all this coolant just came out of this MSD intake. You can hear a piece of something rolling around in there, so we'll have to disassemble this whole intake, get all the pieces of the engine out of there. Well, let's take a look at the carnage real quick. Oh my, look at the valve.
That's broken too. Everything's broken.
Holy crap. That valve said, not today.
Today, Junior?
And it literally put coolant in every cylinder. Yeah, I would say that head is destroyed. See, it's supposed to be full. It's missing half the casting, for one. For two, I don't think the valve's supposed to look like that.
That's not right.
Right.
You can see we're making progress. Got the water pump off, intake, all the fuel injectors out, got both valve covers off, all the spark plugs. So we're gonna go ahead, just keep tearing this motor down. All right, getting it up and out. Got all the transmission bolts out the back of the bell housing that I can see from up top. And I got pretty much all the accessories off except for the AC compressor and the headers. I'm gonna go ahead, push the car forward, take these little spacers off, get it up on the lift. Drop my phone, trying to push the dang car. Car's up on the lift. Let's go ahead and start going up with this thing. We'll check all 4 corners real quick. Make sure we're not on the body at all, which everything looks good. Let me get down here real quick. Everything looks clear. Let's go ahead and lower this down. Get the car up in the air. And then drain all the fluids. So we got it loose. Let's see what we got that comes out of here. See how much coolant comes out first.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's pretty milky. Oh yeah.
Milk, 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 milk.
Ooh, RIP. I'm gonna actually get this plate torn off real fast and some of these plastics out the way so I can get this oil cooler off. Got to get the headers down. So I'll unbolt the exhaust. Wow, first one in a long time that is not welded together.
That is a miracle.
And it looks like it's all ceramic coated. Definitely did this one right, but man, coolant leaking out of the headers and oil, never a good sign, but you can see, RIP. All right, we got the plate out, so we're gonna go ahead and pull the headers down now. One out. Got the second one coming down. Getting these transmission bolts out. Do have to drop the starter to get all the wiring from the crankshaft sensor and everything past there, so we'll drop the starter next. I'm just getting the rest of these bolts out. Got the starter out, got the headers out, pulling the oil cooler down now. You can see it's all milky, so never a good sign, but keep plugging away. Getting this oil cooler disconnected from the lines and the motor. Make it a clear path of getting it out. Probably don't have to remove it, but I don't want it to get damaged up on the frame or nothing going. All right, we got the oil cooler off the side. We got the lines out of the way. We're getting the AC compressor unbolted. You see there's 113 on the bottom, and then you got one on the back side that you can get from up top. And then we'll get the belt off same time. All the tranny bolts are out the back. All right, so we got that top bolt to grab there. One more stud to get off right here in the front. It's actually got a nut and then a stud. All right, we got the AC belt off. Compressors unbolted from the motor. We got the rest of the wiring and everything out of the way. So we're gonna take the motor mount bolts off on both sides, right up on the top. And then we're gonna hook a chain to the front of the motor, get this thing lifted out. This thing out of here, get it pulled away from the trans. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this.
Oh, you want to fight? You want to fight?
All right, that was a bit of a fight, but got the engine coming up out. Just gonna make sure it's clear on both sides, get this thing up and out, and then we'll start tearing it down.
Gonna come out.
All right, we got the engine out. I'm gonna go ahead and lower this thing down a bit. Had to raise it way up to get it out. But I actually did have to lower the subframe because the oil pan was hitting the subframe. So I had to take the 2 back subframe bolts out and then loosen up the 2 fronts on each side just to get it enough clearance to pass the oil pan on the bottom. But start digging into this thing. Getting this side all loosened up. I already got one off, but these other ones are pretty tight. So just doing them by hand. We don't pull no threads out. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get the cylinder head pulled off first before I pull the rest of the motor apart. We did also see that the cam lope is a little damaged, so he's having a lifter issue. On the keepers. Damn, look at that valve is wedged in the head.
That's going to be a problem.
Looking at the cylinder, got a couple of scratches on the cylinder wall right there, but no major cracks that we can see. The piston right there, that's where the valve went right into, so definitely we'll need a piston. But looking at the cylinder head, it might have went through the coolant jacket, and that's where all the coolant came through. It's our assumption right now, but we're gonna keep tearing this thing down. All right, we got the other head pulled off, getting the timing cover off now. We got some of the motor mount brackets off. We're just getting the whole motor stripped down. So what it looks like, you guys can see in the video, right there, the head is cracked, right there. So that's where all the coolant came in. It is no bueno. Broke the guide all the way out, even the casting, so. Almost got it apart, got all the oil pan bolts out. We're gonna knock that out, pull the clutch off. Oh, looks like the timing guide was broken too. Had a nice cam gear on here though. It doesn't have the whole actuator and everything with that LME billet timing cover. And these lifters out, looks like it's got Johnson lifters in there. One of these back lifters though, you see the lope was getting ate up. Gonna take a look at that one and see. But using a magnet, just pull these things out one by one. So we got the engine out, got everything all bolted back up, the subframe and all that. We're gonna go ahead, pull the wrap off the front and wait to see what the machine shop says and get some parts ordered. All right, so that'll wrap it up for episode number 1. Appreciate you guys watching. Episode 2 will be coming out pretty soon here. We'll see what the machine shop says, get all the parts ordered, start assembling the motor, throw it back in this beast, get this car back on the road. Appreciate you guys watching. Staying tuned for the next one. Car sits like a monster truck in the front.